Fuck you. No, because I asked you straight. Hey, is it okay if oh no, you can text me in the morning. I turn it off. I won't hear it. And then I get that shit. What the fuck?
No,
and
see,
I'm getting butthurt now. I'm butthurt.
I text him at ungodly hours of the night. And then
I'm a night owl.
Well,
sometimes I respond right away. So
sometimes he does. It's amazing. I don't usually expect to hear from him at 2 a.m. Occasionally, he actually responds at 2 a.m. But then, like yesterday, we recorded, and he went to send it to me, and it didn't get out when it should have because I fell asleep.
You fell asleep, but I also had a computer crash and then other problems. So me, who's usually doing at these really long random times, I was the one that didn't get it finalized properly.
I find that, I like working in the wee hours of the morning better. I get a lot more
He gets up at freaking like 4 in the morning.
Right.
Depends on what I'm working on.
Yeah.
But in my defense and everything, again, we go back to fucking day job, but my day job, I work with people that are in different time zones. So
right.
I have to start at 5 in the morning, I'm on with calls and all bullshit and everything.
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, so, so I'm up before that. And nowadays you have to have the video call, so you can't just get up and just, hey, how's it going? Let's take care of this shit. Everything. You have to, be halfway presentable. And I got away with
So you wear like underwear and then like a
I got no pants on.
Got no pants on, but
on that call I wear
from here down.
From here down.
Well, I do, and the funny thing is that so my boss and everything, you see a keyboard off in the corner on his shit. And we haven't talked about music with this guy. He's a new guy. But anyway, and my thing, what I do is you got the picture, but you can blur your background or you can put in a different picture. So I got a picture back there, but every now I got a guitar hanging on the wall, and every now and then something happens, the guitar just shows up. And it goes away. Shows up. It goes away. And I can see people, and you can see people on the screen like Brady Bunch shit and everything. You see their eyes darting around, and they're looking at. Oh, and then you make comment about my fucking teacup. They give me shit about what the size of that thing, because I use a fucking soup mug for my tea.
I bought him a teacup too. It's like the size.
It's a trough.
Okay, you're met because. You said you were born in England.
Yes.
Now, as you're sitting talking about teacup, I'm thinking proper English teacup. And then now you're sitting talking. That's not a teacup, honey. That's a coffee mug. You are here.
No, darling, I can drink tea out of the teapot. Actually, I did the other day.
No. Since we started the project,
it was like a nipple.
He comes in and is like a week into the project, he comes over to the studio at my parents' house, and he's got like a teapot.
I'm fucking moving in.
And he's got like boxes of tea, and my mom's like,
cookies.
What's going
I brought
on?
Cookies.
And then he sets it, with the rest of the stuff up on the, she's got a teapot too.
Right.
It's like more like.
You said make yourself at home.
And then my mom's like, is he bringing in like his luggage or something? Because like, is he bringing in like guitars and like all this stuff?
No, that's just the standard.
And my mom, like, ever since she makes jokes about him like moving in, and then I tell him like all of a sudden, like, one day I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be looking into the house through the window, and he's gonna be having dinner with my parents. I'm gonna be all sad outside, like. They've replaced.
Sorry, Lucia. There's no room at the table, but you can eat on the patio though with the dogs. Okay.
And he's got his teacup and all that.
And my pot of tea and some
again,
cookies.
honey, not a teacup. That's a mug, coffee mug.
No, it's a soup mug, really. But,
oh, okay. I've had one of those too.
But it's huge. It's freaking huge. But what it does is
that's my coffee mug.
It saves you trip back to the coffee pot. You know what I mean?
It does save you a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't save you trips to the bathroom.
I only fill this up 3 times.
How often do you fill up the commode from that?
About every hour and a half.
Dave, why you got to go there?
The fact that we have gone and talked this long without me having to do the symbol to let everybody know I'm stepping out, it's amazing that my bladder has held
do you
this
do
long.
the knees crossed potty dance kind of thing, or what is this?
So we talked about some of the songs. We at least mentioned a couple of them, but one that you didn't say anything about was "Letter to the King."
Letter to the King. That's all you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lucia. No, all right. So when we were jamming in the cover band, one of the Lucia's fortes was Dio and Maiden and everything kind of stuff. Yeah, so I wanted to pay homage to that. I wanted to write a song. So here again. Go to practice. I gonna fuck around with shit that night, and I call her up next day. Hey, I wrote a medievally kind of song here. Medievally kind of song. I'm thinking, if I can do. So it's the big one. It's got that kind of gallop kind of thing happening there and everything. So because when I was learning to play bass, when I was really toning my bass, I picked a couple of guys, and I stayed away from Iron Maiden for a long time just because I didn't like some of their shit and everything, But ultimately, I came on board because I had to learn that technique. And really, my thing is I picked up technique from different artists, but I didn't want to go too far down because I met some guys that they become that, and that's all they are on bass and everything, right? So I picked up just enough of that. But so you will hear that this is a little nudge, wink, well, not nudge, wink, a little tip of the hat to to Iron Maiden, and a little tip of the hat to Dio. But the song is here again, medieval. We're talking about, it's called "Letter to the King." So it's just a story, because this is what we'll do. We'll talk about stories, and we'll say, hey, So we just kept the story going, and it's just basically about an emissary who has got a letter. He's got to deliver it, and she is fighting her way through everything to get there. And it's a little twist at the end of the story. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Go listen to the story and everything. But it is. But this song though too, as we were writing it a guy named Norman House and everything.
Yes, I was just going to remind you about that, Norm.
So we ended up at the very end of the song. You'll hear it in the outro and everything. That was where we were sitting there, and we were saying, we need something for the end here for this, and we were going to sing this. And we said, how about this? And he said, how about this? And then we said, both at the same time, how about this? And I know this is being obscure, but this is how we worked it out, to where we were both thinking the same at the same time. But here again, so he still, everything on this album, all the credits are Lucy and I, except that song. Norm's on there though too.
Norm
just because he contributed the music,
Yeah.
But all lyrics are David.
He's like, how about we do this? And it was like, oh, that was awesome.
It was. I mean, and that was a fun moment there, and everything for him. And that was when we were just starting to. Cause that was when we were playing Pro Blade the album. No, Drogamia. We were playing.
We were doing Drogamia. Yes.
Because we would fuck around with some of our songs in between practice or after when we were doing the cover stuff and everything. Yeah. And like I said, what ended up happening there is that we spent more time doing that, and to me, it was more fulfilling the cover stuff to do that than not the cover, more fulfilling on the original stuff. Cover stuff was all good and fine, but there's such a rush.
But it's so much different doing your own like original stuff, because it's like once you have a song of your own and you can get that excitement to share it with the world, it's like it's like your baby. You want to share it, and you're just like yeah
absolutely.
Just want to get it out, and that's
it out there.
And that's what with all our songs right now, we've got enough songs, but we're not putting them all on the album. I'm doing air quotes, you can't see me, but we're not putting them all on the album right away and everything, because we're still a long-term kind of thing. I mean, we approach this kind of as a business, but more as friends having fun first and everything, because people, like what you were saying earlier on, people aren't stupid. They can see through the bullshit and everything. So we try and keep it as honest and as cool as we can, and let the chips fall where they may, to where we're not writing songs to make money. I mean, we hope people will like them. People will spend money to come see us and come listen to our stuff. But we trust that we're pleasing ourselves and we like our shit and everything. And then hopefully we're not fooling ourselves or lying to ourselves. And then maybe. And
that's where it's at. Like we go to the studio, we write a song, and then at the end, like when we're finally almost finished with it, it's like we listen back. It's like, damn, yeah, that's like that. Yeah, that's good, and you get that feeling, of you accomplished.
When we first did,
that was our first one that we recorded.
And it was all right. And I fucked up on the drums.
He did.
I did, but it worked out good. We kept.
And he was ready to redo the whole thing. I already had done so much, on the vocals. He did so much on the piano. And he's like, oh, we got to redo. It's like, no, let's come up. And I couldn't come up with the vocals. And he goes, how come, you do like one of those little scat little things that you do, in the middle. Ooh,
you do you, boo.
And then work it, and it just like freaking worked perfect. Like it was meant to be that way.
We've had a couple like
and
that.
it was like, oh my God, like our fuck up was like a
the accidents in the studio
miracle. Like it was
well, because it came down to what we were going to play underneath the verse on that song, and we originally we had something totally in mind and everything, but then there was no room for it because of how I did the shit. So I was like, how about we try and sing and do this
yeah.
You know?
But
I don't know.
We did think about it for a little
Oh yeah,
while.
we did, but then it was like,
what do we put in the middle? It's like, and then.
But after we were done, what you were speaking to, after we were done, because what we'll do is we'll get our shit on the thumb drive and go and listen on the car on the way home.
And listen to it.
And your brother came over, Jimmy came over and everything, and we were listening to it. And that's where we got affirmation, because you're going to wonder, okay, is this good? I got to get some
And my
opinions.
brother's like, yeah.
And he's a musician, though,
nice.
too. And
my brother's a bass player,
and cool. He would tell us. I didn't know him that well at that point, but I know him well enough now that he would tell us if it was. We would know if it was me. Oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? He would let us know. No, somehow. Keep working at it. Keep working at it.
Really,
he was as excited. Yeah. He was as excited as
You're
we
getting
were.
There.
He's like,
You're
yeah, like this is good.
That's awesome.
He was,
It's got personality.
No, he was.
So.
Yeah.
We're looking at a CD coming out in June.
June, yes.
Hopefully, we're going to have you on stage in June.
Yes.
With a full band, or
fuck yes.
Yeah.
Well, because all we're doing right now with acoustic stuff is just so we can get the music out there somewhat.
Yeah.
But
right.
we are a full band when we perform, and that's the whole idea. Is that and a very big show. Very big show. That's what we want.
Very big shoe.
Like I said, like jugglers and
fire dancers.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
I could see that.
I know some fire players. We can get there.
For real? You can do that?
We want some dancers and like all that stuff,
I want a tiger. I want a live tiger.
A tiger.
Bring me the tigers. Yes.
We think big sometimes.
Yeah.
We daydream for hours.
You got to have dreams so that you've got goals to shoot
hours.
for.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Just keep,
Well, and
keep dreaming that shit.
It's still the same thing where we still have the keyboards and guitars to where right now, here again, what we've got on the album, we've got a pretty full sound, but we were keeping that in mind that we need to recreate this when we play it live.
Right.
So, I mean, for the better part we have, but here again, we're not going to shoot ourselves in the foot either. So there's going to be some stuff that, we still recreate it live, but it's going to be, this is the live version.
Yeah.
And this is the studio version, and which songs those are.
What did my dad say? Something at one point, he's like, stop. What did he say?
32 tracks. How many tracks do you guys fucking want?
Yeah, like he's like, oh, and then brings me back to the meme that we want to do, on our page.
Yeah.
I got a picture of my dad, and then his face is like, the one that like you show the picture, zoomed out, and then you start zooming into the face that you want to show.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
So the big picture is me pointing at the screen, and you keep on zooming. Then you finally see the look on his
his face. Yes,
it's
priceless.
Come on,
that face is
That's
just
awesome.
like.
So we're gonna do that releasing cut, but we're gonna do the little words, kind of go along with it, and then finally figure with what's the last one?
I think we want to do like we need another track for
more
cowbell.
More cowbell.
And then it pans on
Blondie's
face and everything, and then it's like, I can say what the fuck we're gonna say.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? That's the look. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. Hey, we don't have to post
my
it.
poor dad.
Yeah. No, he puts up with a lot of stuff, but he is really good. Really good.
Yeah.
And you can tell that you love him.
And
it shows.
He loves it. Like, even though, like, we put him through, like, some shit, like, he enjoys the shit out of doing this. Like, he can't deny that.
He really does. He really does.
I'd really love to have an opportunity to come to the studio.
Yeah, you should come over.
I know a guy. I think I can. I'll work on him.
And just witness this
sneak
whole
him in.
thing.
Just sneak him in.
We're not sneaking Trevor.
There's no sneaking me in anyway.
I think you can fit him in your pocket.
I could.
No.
I don't think there's fitting.
My case, my guitar case. Yeah.
Maybe in there,
my double bass case.
Yeah, maybe that one.
Contrabass.
But I can just imagine what kind of fun
You're
that
very
would be.
welcome to
The
come
shenanigans.
Yeah.
Oh, the shenanigans.
and the Lucia explosions